right, welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2013 look at the 3AA NCHSAA playoffs. I'm Dale Ross.
Not a pep man, Matt Morrow.
Matt, this next game, I'm going to go ahead and say what you said, is might be the best ball game in the state this week in the playoffs in this round.
I think so.
Number 7 Weddington at 10-2. Going up to play number 2 Asheville at 10-2. Last week, Weddington defeated Ledford 42-0. Not much of a ball game. And last week, another Union County team, Cuthbertson, went up to Asheville and was beat 33-7. Just some things that I noted is that Weddington defeated Cuthbertson 35-9. You know, if you want to look at heads-to-heads,
same margin of victory.
Same margin of victory, exactly. Just 2 more points on each side.
Yeah.
Weddington apparently had, in addition to, we know about their defense. Coach
Right.
Carson is always, well, he was defense coordinator at Sun Valley, and his teams at Weddington have all had very good defenses, and they just basically shut Ledford down, just completely. Their coach said they couldn't do anything. Weddington, on the other hand, had a good mix of run and pass.
Right.
In that game. And so I think that's going to be very important for them in this ball game as well, to have that good mix.
Right.
For Asheville, Ricky Scott, I don't know if you caught this, but he has tied a school record. And there was a former player up there called Cresden Butler.
Heard of him.
Yeah, he plays for the San Diego Chargers.
I guess he's pretty good.
So he's the one who holds the record, or held the record, and Ricky Scott just tied the record for interceptions, school record for interceptions. He's had his 7th of the season Friday, in their win Friday night. So
awesome.
Kind of tells you, you know, one player to potentially look at Weddington people will be Ricky Scott.
Throw away from him.
Throw away from him. Don't throw him at him, because he'll break the school record. He'll get his 8th of the season.
Exactly. I think the key for Weddington here, honestly, now that you said this about Ricky Scott, I don't know. But
throw the ball?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Open it up early and test their coverage abilities, but don't throw it at Ricky.
Right.
And just from there, I think you got to open it up, soften up the box, and they want to be balanced, but they got a good quarterback. They got a good core receivers. They've been there for a while. I think if you're Coach Carson, you trust those guys to go out and make some plays early on and soften things up for against Asheville and get them, you know, maybe outside of the box a little bit. Then you can run the ball inside and then get into some other things. But I think it's one of those things for Weddington. You throw to set up the run. That's what they do best. That's where their seniors are. That's where their experience is. But they've got to be able to protect. You know, that's the one thing that I always come back to with Weddington, because I always reference that game they had earlier in the season. They gave up those 7 sacks.
Right.
And I think that's my key for Asheville. They got to be ready for the spread offense from Weddington and have some pressure packages ready to go against them, because Welch is a good senior quarterback, and he's seen a lot over the years. But you're going to have to pressure him to get him out of his comfort zone. Because once he gets into a rhythm, he can start hitting some things. Weddington can start making some big plays over the top like we've seen this season. And Asheville could be in some trouble, because we know Weddington defensively is going to be ready to go. They're a little young on defense, but Coach Carson has done a great job getting them together all season long. And if you're Asheville, you can't count on blowing this team out, because this is a very good team.
Right.
And they've been in some big games this year. I think they're a 7 seed just because they lost that game to Sun Valley, unfortunately, in overtime. That knocked them down a little bit, but I don't think this is a 7 type seed that they're playing. This is a top 4 type seed that this is probably a 3rd round type of game that you would typically see here. But I tell you, Asheville, I think they're gonna have to be able to run the ball, obviously, and keep Weddington's spread offense off the field. It's not going to be easy. Asheville's got the home field advantage. They got experience. They're traditional power in the mountains. So they're going to be ready to go. I think both of these teams are going to be ready to go. It's going to be a heck of a game. And, It's going to come down to the seniors of Weddington, if do they want their season to end or not, and you know the coaching ability and tradition of Asheville. And Coach Watkins is going to have them ready to go. And I tell you, if you guys have not been to Asheville, you Weddington fans, it is a beautiful stadium. And you know, you never know. This cold front coming through, you might get some snow.
Probably will. You know, one thing about Weddington, and you mentioned this is typically a third round type game.
Yeah.
And had it not been for that slip up against Sun Valley, and you know, Weddington was on that run. You know, they had that little slip against A.L. Brown, and that's where those 7 sacks came from. Right?
And they only lost the game 7-0 on a defensive score.
Exactly. And then, of course, the Sun, you know, then they got on a run, and then they had to slip up against Sun Valley. So I think this is a tougher team that Asheville's got coming in for a second round game than you'd like to have. Right. I agree, it's a beautiful place, and it probably will get covered in, you know, potentially covered in snow. You watch it this Friday night. So,
yes, sir.
You Weddington people, you got a little bit of a drive up 74 to get up there, but enjoy the ball game. Thank you.
It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time is tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time is tricky. I met this little girlie, her hair was kinda curly. Went to her house and bust her out, I had to leave real early.